Okay, I consumed a lot of your time, mostly 15 minutes. My plan was at this time, I have to start this week third class. Okay, anyway, I'll quickly go through. Okay, let's understand about what is the Vedic knowledge. The Vedic knowledge is nothing but when the number of the sages and the saints, they lived for very, very long time. They accumulated the knowledge. They put together all their knowledge into a Vedic system. We call as the Vedas. The mainly we call as the Rikejur Sama Dharvana Veda. So once they formed the Veda, they have to give the instruction because they are such a kind of the knowledgeable people. They created some kind of the sutra, rigs, so many things in a abstract manner. Any peoples can, and it's not easy to understand to each and every one of them. So what they did, okay, I hope everyone can hear me. If you didn't hear, still my voice was people, please raise your hands or chat in the chat box, okay? Then what they did is they created the supplement to preserve this Vedic knowledge. They created the Vedangas, 6 Vedangas will be there. So everything will contain different kind of the knowledge supporting system to the Vedas. For example, if it was the Chanda, the Chanda defined, there was the 6 Vedangas. The Chanda will define about the metric system of what kind of the metric system the Vedas was defined. So I quickly go through, I didn't deep into the every Vedangas, will exactly jump into the Jyotisha. The Jyotisha is one of the Vedanga. It's called as the Jyotisha was called as the eye of the Vedanga. There was a reason behind it. If you guys want to do the homework, find it why the Jyotisha was called as the eye of the Vedangas. Okay. It's not one and the same. The knowledgeable people, what they did, they again created the 4 more upangas, but later on, there are some scriptures also saying that are the 18 Vedic knowledge. We call it as the Upavedas. The 4 Upavedas additional to it is all the whole system of the Vedic knowledge composed together. So that knowledge will be passed on to the generation to the generation. So that becomes your Vedic knowledge. So the Vedic knowledge is for the very powerful, wonderful knowledge passed down from the various generations. So we are going to study about the Vedic astrology, exactly from the traditional way of learning the Vedic astrology. Okay, in the Jyotisha Shastra, what authentic name of the Sanskrit is Jyotisha. Jyotisha means everyone knows about it. Jyoti means is the light. Light means lightening the darkness of the light, throw away or fade away all the darkness in the light. So the Jyotisha means it was lightening anyone's life. That becomes the Shastra that contains the name for the astronomy and the astrology. When we say the astrology and astronomy put together, it's just Jyotisha. We have to understand what is the astronomy and astrology. When it comes into an astronomy, it gives a whole holistical knowledge about all the celestial beings in any number of the universe. It's not only the universe which we are living. There are the various universe, various celestial bodies. It gives all the knowledge about the celestial bodies. We call this the astronomy. We least concerned about this astronomy now. We were much more interested in the astrology. So the astrology will gives you knowledge about the person who lives on this earth planet. Okay.
Vanita, would you want to record
about that knowledge? We understand.
Would you want to record?
Give me a second. I did already. I am doing it. It was not recording now.
Thank you.
Because I was in a slideshow, I couldn't see that.
It says it's being recorded.
Do you hear me?
Yes, it says it's being recorded.
Okay,
Recording,
fine.
right?
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Am I wrong? Give me a second, let me. Oh, okay, then it's okay. Okay. Thank you so much, because I forgot last week. That's why I'm doing this now. Thank you so much, anyway. Okay, let's quickly go through this. So the eyes of the Vedangas, which I told you already, so this is a homework, why the Jyotisha was called as an eyes of the Vedangas. And one clue, the people, if you about it, why they called as the eyes of the Vedas. Okay. The Jyotirvidya mainly, it's not only the human, it's any living being in this world, in this planet. It gives enlighten the consciousness of the particular person. Okay. Typically, Jyotishas represent knowledge of the light of consciousness. Very simple as it is. Jyotir means it was a light, and the Vidya was the knowledge. So anything which is lightening the consciousness, enlightening our consciousness, that knowledge becomes your Jyotirvidya. Okay. Mainly, we'll put together all the stories you said. Astrology, mainly for your introspection. Consider you born in the planet. At this moment, the planet system in the universe positioned at this position at this point. Okay, so your birth chart was formed. Nothing was written on the stones. As Dr. Kenny was always saying, the astrology is not the predictology or futurology. It will give you the introspection to anyone. You introspect yourself. How is what is the real you, and what is your weakness, what is your strength? Everything you can introspect yourself. That was the main intent of learning the astrology here in the Shiva. So the finally, the introspection means the word Jyoti means light. We already saw that. The knowledge allows us to introspect ourselves. Very simple as it is. No need to give so much of the knowledge, understanding about this. Make it is very simple. Jyoti means knowledge. So sorry, Jyotish means light. And this knowledge allows us to introspect ourselves. So inner self. It's a kind of turning. Usually we always focus on the outside, and we most of the time we don't have the time to introspect our inner self. It gives you the one side of a dimension, or I would say one side of a perspective, to turn towards yourself and see what is your inner self was seeing. Okay, so the mainly, as I said earlier, when you're born, is the map. When you are born, the planet was positioned at this point. That's it, and the planet it didn't have an intention to rule you. Also, okay, it has various duties on its own. It don't have an intention to rule on you. But the main thing is, every individual have to understand. This is my manual, and I know understand, and I understand about this. How I'm going to define my path in the future. Okay, so how I have to reach my goal, what is my objective in my life, what is my purpose in my life, everything you can able to understand with the help of the guideline and the manual. That gives a view of the astrology. This is the main thing about the week 2 class. The astrology is not the predictology or the futurology. This is the main thing. Now, if I quickly go through, you may not understand, or you may understand. Forgot about everything whichever I said earlier. The one thing always keep in mind: the astrology is not a predictology or the futurology. This was the main thing about our week 2 class. Okay, if you have that mindset, then we all said we are very good. Okay, then we'll move on to the this week class. Okay. Okay, I end the show for now. We'll start. We'll sharing the week third slide. Give me 1 minute. I quickly went through. Maybe it may be confused for somebody, or it may not. If you have any doubts, you can ask me now also, or at the end of the session, whichever is easy. Give me a second. Okay, today's lesson is going to start. Okay. Yeah. Okay, again, I'm going to check. You can hear me, right? You can see the screen as well, correct? Yes or no?
Yes and yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
great. Great. That's awesome. That's totally awesome. Okay. Today is the week 3rd and May 28th, third week of the 14th batch class. Okay. Today we are going to see our main objective was only one thing. We understand what is the astrology in the last week class. The astrology is our mainly for our introspecting ourselves. Very simply keep that in mind. Try not to be become put all together all kind of the definition into make it as a very simple understanding. The astrology gives introspection of anyone, and it gives the way to turn anyone towards themselves, towards the journey for the inner journey. So that's astrology is going to help. Astrology introspecting ourselves. Let's map that mind map. Okay, today we are going to see how that astrology is going to apply to this modern world. Okay, that's the main agenda today. Okay, now here is the little bit of fun game. Okay, whenever this is the cloud image, nothing fancy. This is the cloud image. Okay, it was in the sky cloud image. Okay, you have to find what are the images you can find. I already told you it is the cloud image. But when you see this image, what kind of the thing it comes into your mind? What are the images you can find from this picture? Whatever the things, don't
I can see a horse.
you can. What is that?
See a horse.
Your voice was breaking, or is that for me only?
There's
I
a
can see
flying
a
horse.
Yeah,
Flying
flying. What is that? What is that? Flying
horse.
or
Horse.
flying fox? Fox.
Horse.
Horse.
Like the
Can you spell?
Pegasus.
Horse.
I can see a
Okay.
peacock. Oh, peacock. Okay, okay. Is someone saying flying something? Okay. Peacock. Then
Horse.
Horse. Somebody said horse, flying horse.
flying horse. Ah, I see. Oh, okay. That's great. Then
A bird with a, curved beak.
wow, awesome. Then what else you can see? You don't think it was a silly everything? What is that? Someone was saying something. Did I missed it? Okay. Anything else?
Flying swan.
Flying swan. Okay. Peacock, flying swan, flying hearts, and what else? Anything else?
There is a mother bird feeding a baby bird on the left.
Awesome. Okay. Mother bird feeding a baby bird. Okay. Then anything else? Whatever comes first in your mind, don't overthink. It's not a knowledge game. You don't need to put your intellect into it. Whatever comes first in your mind.
Hello, madam.
What? Yeah.
Hello?
What is? Yeah, I can hear you.
Madam, I feel it is some bird, some peacock, something. It
Okay,
is it's peacock jumping, something like that.
okay, peacock jumping. Awesome. Okay, anything else? Okay. You have 30 more seconds. You find anything on that. You have 30 seconds only. Find
A
something.
nice sunny day.
What is that?
A nice sunny day with clouds.
Yeah, that was the image. Nice sunny day with the clouds was the image. My question here is, in that cloud image, what are you trying to find? Any kind of image, or any image can come. Maybe it's like a lion roaring, or like everyone was said, it was a peacock, flying swan, jumping bird, whatever the thing.
There's also a horse. I can also see a horse, probably.
Horse.
Yeah,
Okay.
galloping or running horse. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, why we did this exercise? I end this exercise here. Okay, why we did this exercise now? We'll understand when you're going into the next slide. Okay, so you can also do this as a game whenever you're free, whenever you are in, whenever you have a chance to able to see the sky. This is the one kind of what do you say, exercise to interact with the one of the Panchaputa, that is your Akash. Okay, this was the very wonderful exercise. Whenever you had a free time, just look at the sky. You no need to do anything. The Akash have a wonderful knowledge that will anyone can get that knowledge if you are concentrate without any kind of an expectation. If you look into the sky, numerous knowledge come into you. It was a simple game. Okay, why I did this exercise, we will understand very quickly. Okay, but not in the very next slide like this. You will understand. Please be with me. We'll understand why we did this exercise as the first part. Okay. Okay, before we getting into the astrology and its application, let's see what is our solar system. Okay, it's the kind of we studying as the +2 science or higher studies, higher school studies like that. Bear with me for a few more minutes, then you will be we will understand something on that. Okay. Usually in the solar system, what is that? The sun becomes your center part and other planets is revolved around it. Okay. So first thing, the sun was in the center. The very nearest planet was the Mercury. Then the next very nearest planet was the Venus. What is on the third one? Is the
Sun.
Earth. No, the sun is your center. Sun is your center. Then other planets are revolving around the sun. Okay, consider this is your sun. So the very next planet, what's your Mercury? The Mercury was very near to the sun. Then there was that it was the circle orbit is the representation of it was revolving around it. Okay. This representation is what it means it was revolving around the sun. Okay. The Mercury was the first one. The Venus was the second. Earth was the third. Mars was the fourth. Okay. What is the special about this? The first four, because it was contained the solid kind of the thing. Mostly the surface was rocky kind of the substance. And the Earth was special because we are living in the Earth planet. Okay. Then we'll move on to the from the fifth to the last Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. It's all very big in size as well as it's contain the gaseous substance. So Jupiter, then goes the Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. They remove the Pluto. They don't want to do that. Okay, let it be give it the Neptune as well. If you have more interest in learning about the solar system, go ahead and see how many. Why I showed this picture, there was only one reason, not more than that. Okay, what is the here we have to understand from the sun, from the which is the nearest, it becomes the Mercury. Next one, Venus. Next one is the Earth. So there is the distance between the sun and the Mercury and other planets as well. So here, the sum of the distance between the sun and the Earth, it should be in the number of the light years. Okay, how many light years? Everything it was an approximate. You go ahead and read about it. How many light years was there? That becomes more intellectual. That's why I skipped it. Here we understand one thing. So there was a distance between the any two things, the sun and the Earth. There was a distance was playing the biggest role. Okay, then another one here you have to notice about the size of the planet. The Jupiter was the big in size. The Venus, comparatively, the Mercury was small in size. So you have to understand the distance and the size of the planets have an impact on the Earth. Okay, that is the only thing you have to understand from this solar system picture. The one I again repeat the same thing again. So two things you have to understand from here: the size of the planet and the distance between the planets. The Mercury was smaller and the Venus was a little bit bigger. The Earth was bigger and the Mars was bigger than the Earth. The Jupiter was more bigger than everything. Then the Uranus was comparatively lesser. So imagine, okay, you don't need to deep into it. Okay, let's make it as very simple. Understand one thing, the distance and the size. Okay, that's only you have to concentrate on this. Okay. That is about the solar system. Keep that in mind. We'll move on to the next slide. Okay. The zodiac belt is a very interesting topic before you're getting into this one. Okay. Now we'll put together all the knowledge we learned in the 2 slides into this one. Okay. First thing. Previously in the solar system, the sun plays the center part. Okay. Let it be like that. Okay. Now visualize you. Okay. You are standing in an open space. Nothing was surrounded you. Okay. You are standing in an empty space. Imagine you like that. Okay. What you can see in front of you. You can see your left side. You can see your right side. Okay. You have an ability. What you can do, you can turn, you can revolve at any direction. Okay. Consider you turn towards the right side. This time what you can see again your left side, right side, and in the front. And you turn little bit towards the back. This time also what you can see left side and right side in the front. The same goes if you move around, you revolve around in the same place also. What you can able to see all around you, right? Now continue with imagination. You are standing in this open space, and you have the ability to revolve around the place, revolve around in the same place. Okay, you can revolve, you can move around. So what you can able to do, you can able to see all around you. Okay, now imagine again, you are inside a small size of a round ball. You are standing inside the round ball. Now it becomes the ball becomes very bigger and bigger, but you feel you are in an open space. Still you can able to do that. You can able to still move. You can see all around you. Okay. So what is the here meaning was, even the person was living in the Earth planet, he have an impact from various planets, various celestial objects from the universe. So what the saints and the sages they did, okay, let it be how I can going to divide the portion. Okay, consider they understand the Earth was rotating not in the upright position, revolving around it. The Earth was rotating slightly, slight a bit, slide in its angle, then was revolving. Okay, so because of that, usually when the state object was revolving, it makes the perfect circle. But this Earth was little bit slant towards the one side. What will happen? The round becomes little bit elliptical. Imagine you have a round ball, you have a round substance, and you would have an ability, you can press it. What will happen? The round becomes your elliptical. Okay, imagine the same. So now what are you doing? You are standing in the open space. You are covered with the white ball, and the white ball was very big enough. You can be able to move around, and it was the open space like of itself. But altogether, this story was, you can, even though if you are in a Earth planet, you have an influence from the different planets. Okay, now coming to the question. Okay, you're going to the influence, but how can anybody study it? Can you please unmute? If you have a question, you can ask. Otherwise, unmute. Okay. when you're then the saints and sages was what they did. Okay. Anyway, you have an influence. This is we are talking about only one person. We will expand our imagination later. Consider the only one person for the simplicity of our exam. Then they said, okay, in order to understand the study of the one person, you have to study all around it, right? What they did, okay, let's separate this circle into the 12 division. Okay, how they can able to separate? When they separate into the 12 division, everything becomes the 30-degree angle. Okay, from the center point, they make the 30-degree division. So it becomes the 360 degree. If you see that, if you revolve around it, if you make one big circle, it comes into 360 degree. So what they did in the 360-degree circle, they equally separated into 12. Okay, when you equally separated into 12, every section will comes under 30 degree. Then you may ask, Okay, is that the 30° was the only solution for this? No. You can also divide it into 10°, 5 degrees also. We no need to go into the deeper studies of into the astrology. The 30° is the so it will give you this all kind of the sophisticated solution. So the number of the people tried and tested. So this one will give you very best solution. So they understand, okay, this is the 30°, you separated in the entire elliptical into the 12 parts. Okay. Here comes the question. Okay. Now the entire all around this degree 360° was divided into 12, and every section is goes into 30°. This much is fantastic. Okay. Then every 30°, they understand there are the group of the stars which is having an impact on the Earth planet. Okay. Then they understand, okay, there are the group of stars, means not only one star. There are the group of stars. So the envisioned people, the enlightened people, they understand there are the number of the stars which have the strong influence in their planet for all the human beings, not only for Vanita, not only for anybody. It was exactly influencing the Earth planet. So particularly they noticed the bigger planets, the brighter stars, bigger stars. Then they pointed all the stars to form the one kind of a picture or one kind of an image. First thing, they come into the Aries kind of the sign. They in the first consider they started the first 30°, 0 to 30°. In that, they only pinpointed you. Okay, before that, I don't know how you guys have played this game. In the primary school, there was a one game. You have to join the dots. That will ended up into the picture. The same game here also. There are the bright stars and the big stars which have a strong influence. Which I already told you have to understand about only two impacts. One is the distance, one is the size. So based on that there was many other things also. You don't need to concentrate on that. Consider the distance and the size. So based on that, in the 30°, they understand, okay, this stars will going to get an influence for me. Consider for the Aries is our first house. The first house means 0 to 30° comes under. So we'll learn each and everything in the detail in the upcoming classes. This is only the introduction. So if you don't understand, don't worry about it. Okay. So they pinpointed one star, then they joined with another, then they joined with another. Then finally, the group of stars they named as the Aries, or in the Tamil they called this a nation. So then they moved on to the 30° to the 60°. They find, okay, this star going to influence the Earth planet. Then this one. They find the sign. Then they call it as the Pisces or the Rishabham. Look like a bull. Okay, now we'll come. The same thing goes for all the 12 houses. Okay, now 30°, 30 to 60°, 60 to 90°. The same stories goes around all the 12 houses. Okay, now we'll see in these images of this planet. So if you will see how the month and the 12 houses were related later on, not now. I thought to give you, but that may give you the lots of confusion right now itself. So I'll let it be for now. So if you can see this is the it's kind of the Dhanush, Kumbham, Meenam. So this is the Meenam, Makaram, Meenam. Okay, Mesham. We'll call it. This is the first house. Mesham, Rishabham, Midunam. The call is the Aries, Pisces. Okay, Aries, Taurus, Gemini. We'll call it as a reverse one. I should change the picture, but imagine this is the point here. So they divided into the 12 house. Every house they exactly pinpointed the influencing stars and the planets. Then they make it as the group of the stars. They give it as the one name. Call it as an Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo. Because of the shape, they named it like that. Nothing more than that. Let it be very simple. Okay. Till now, you have any doubt? In the zodiac belt? Okay, I guess if you didn't have, okay. Okay, I repeat one more time very quickly in a brief sentence. In the astrology, we considered Earth as the center. Then from that, we're trying to find a study what are the planets influencing the Earth. Very simple. So they find out, okay, the Earth was here, make it as a 360-degree circle, because the Earth was not properly, it was slightly slanting and revolving. So the circle becomes the elliptical. Then they divided everything into the 30 degrees. So it becomes the 12 parts. The 12 parts we call it the 12 houses. So every house having, they pinpointed the group of stars, and that star has a strong influence on that point. They will give it as the name. Okay, it's not only one star. The Aries means the group of stars together. Taurus means the group of stars together. For that group of stars, they together we call it as the Taurus. Okay, I'll move on. Okay, now we'll see how it will be grouped together. Consider this is your Earth, and this is the various celestial objects around this universe. Okay. Then, okay, imagine why I did the first exercise to you. See the clouds and find the picture, find the image. Okay. Here we are at a time when the Vedic knowledge was in the incubation state, I would say. The sages and the saints, because their third eye was open, they are a very enlightened person. They can transmit their communication to the people who was far away from them, or they can also identify how the star got influenced. Okay, based on their knowledge, they understand. Okay, this one will get influenced, this one will get influenced. Then if then everything was grouped together, they give the form, they name it as like that. For example, if the Aries was look like this, it was look like one slanting and another one, they called it as an Aries. We can also, there was the story behind everything, why it was called this like that. Whenever we find them, we'll understand about it. But if you want a very fun homework for you, you can also do that. The formation of every star and the name of the house is totally related. Okay, the group of stars formation, the name was given, was totally related. And the image will be more or less, it may not be properly matched with the image, but it's more or less matched with the image of the mention. For example, if it was, okay, this is the Libra means Tulam. Tulam means it's a kind of a weighing scale, right? That one. So you may not exactly map that one with the image, but somewhat it will give that image picture. So they named it as the group of stars in the way. Whenever you find time, you will go through it one by one. I quickly go through why, because anyway in our upcoming classes we will understand one by one in a very detailed study. So I quickly go through this one. Okay, let's come into the important part. Okay. In the Shiva, we are going to learn the Southern India chart only. So the Southern India chart, it starts from here. The first house starts from here. I remember, which I said, the entire elliptical divided into 12 parts. Okay. See, you can also see the 12 division into a circle also. But the square gives you the easier understanding. You can also easily read whatever it is written in the square instead of the circle or the diamond shape like the North Indian charts. Quite confusing. But this one, the Southern Indian chart, was very easy to read. Okay, the first house start from here, from the second square. You might you can see how my cursor was moving, right? This one, second square. Then that was the first house, 0 to 30 degree. Then it was moved 30 to 60, then 60 to 90, 90 to 120. It goes on till 360 degree. Okay. Then every house will have a name. Why this name was coming, I already told you. Because at this particular point, in this particular 30 degree of the division, these stars have the influence. So the group of stars, they named as then Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorns, Aquarius, and Pisces. Okay, that is about the zodiac belt. You have any questions on the zodiac belt? Awesome. Whenever you have a questions, please fire right away. Okay. We'll move on to how we.
Vanita, I want to know, we are usually, I'm usually confused between the zodiac belt and the Western zodiac belt. Like over there, what my sun sign is, and here, what my zodiac sign is.
Okay, only follow one thing that was easy for you, because I don't know much about the Western astrology, so I don't have a knowledge.
Okay.
Maybe if you send a question to me, I will check with the doctors there, because I really don't have any knowledge in Western astrology.
No, I just know that over there I'm Kanya and here I'm Taurus. I don't know how, but that's the, when we talk about zodiacs and we read, I know we read in the paper which is just a 2-line for today, not the normal astrology, just as a fun thing. And then you read, I know I used to be Kanya over there because my birth was in September, so I used to be Kanya. But here I know it's not as per that, it's different. So anyway,
Okay.
we'll follow what
Astrology
you are
is
teaching us.
based on
That is
the
right.
sign.
May I answer that question? Just a simple question. That thing that you are referring to is actually the position of the sun in your birth chart. And what we are looking at is the position of the moon in your birth chart.
Okay. Thank you so much. So when we say which is my zodiac sign, or we don't say that, we just say which is your Rashi.
Wait.
How do we say?
Okay. Yeah, wherever your moon was in your chart, that is becomes your Rasi. Okay, in your chart, right? In the considered. Okay, wait a second.
Just to add, ma'am, please don't use your sun sign chart, which was made in the Western astrology, and don't consider the position of moon. That would be a lot more confusing. The houses will change in Western astrology, and as Vanita requested, please use the Vedic astrology charts.
Yeah, that's it. Because that is the only thing I know.
Okay.
Okay, the one thing is, obviously, you can understand about your Rasi
thank you.
the birth month. You can easily understand from the chart itself. So, for example, if your moon was here in this position, that becomes your Virgo. That means if it is the Kanni Rasi, wherever in your chart the moon was there, that is your Rasi. Okay, how you can find your birth month? Wherever your sun was there, that becomes your birth month. Okay, the month and the combination of this one we will come in the later weeks also. We study about it, so don't worry about this. Most of the time I am not really interested in the Western astrology, so I didn't study that. I don't have knowledge on that. Okay, let's move on. Okay, let's have how we have it. Okay, how we have it, why we need this astrology. Okay, the astrology, it may also define how we can impact the human well-being. Why it may be the heredity factor, your lifestyle thing, you can political environment, social and economic culture, whatever the thing, it tries to enhance your human well-being. The most important aspect of the astrology is altogether we have to enhance our human well-being of any person. That's the only thing. So here comes the interesting thing in the next slide. Okay, there is also the people will say, right? You have the in southern part. I belong to the southern part, so the people will say, you have so many punya. Punya means you have the good karma, and if something was bad thing happened to you, oh, you had the bad karma that was impacting, that was influencing yourself. Okay, the karma theory can be it can be followed from the generation to generation, or your past actions is also coming from the one life to another lifetime. So most of the people will argue with me, no, I don't believe in the life and my previous life. Okay, put the argument aside, but definitely when you are having the karma with your unfinished actions in your current life, the soul can birth to the next life to fulfill that. That was the different theory and the concept. Okay, let's make it as a very simple understanding here. The karma theory is also continuous, and you can also understand from the astrology. Okay, and the stars, you can also understand how one person get influence from the different stars. Okay, as I told you earlier, the stars and the planets have no have an interest on anyone. They are doing it's a duty. Their energy was flowing, the cosmic energy was flowing, it was flowing. It is anyone's responsibility. You can receive it, or you can enhance it, or you can improve yourself. This is about it. Okay. Can also understand, there are many things you can understand, quickly go through. Okay. I rushing in the last few slides because we are running out of the time. Last week also I said the same thing. This week also the same thing. This is not a predictology. This is not the futurology. Okay, then what it is? Okay, when you are born, as I a year earlier also I said the same thing. Your planet position was formed already. Okay, that was there. It was going to define you. This is Vanita was born on this time. Okay, the planet position was defined. That's it. Then based on that, how you can understand, we'll see in the next one. Give me a second. Okay, what the astrology chart going to tell you? Gives you an interpretation. It gives you guidance. Why we need the guidance? Okay, any person one point in time they said, okay, I have the too many careers in front of me. I don't know which career I want to choose. Okay, then I have the too many decisions in my life. I don't know what to do. Okay, then that will give you the different guidance in your life. And I don't know which path I have to take, and I was totally blank. I don't know what happens in my life and what steps I have to take in my next step in my life. So that kind of the guidance also you can get it. But remember, the astrology is only the guidance. Whatever the thing which is going to happen in your life, you have to take in charge of your life and moving forward with all kind of the goodness and the happiness. It's all in your hand. Okay, but it's a tool for your introspection only. This is the thing. If I go on this way, what will happen? If I go on this way, what will happen? What kind of the mind situation I am in? What kind of the emotion which I will go through? Okay, if I was in this kind of the mind situation, how I can handle myself? Okay, you have to treat the astrology as your tool for introspection. Okay, the astrology is in one word I would say it's a science. Some people will say it's an art. The very first teacher, when I learned from him, he said the astrology is an art. I couldn't understand why he said that, but later point in time when we are practicing, you definitely understand why he said that in the way. But I saw it as a mathematics because everything comes in front of me as a numbers. I saw it's a mathematics. So it's a permutation and combination. Why it's permutation and a combination? Consider in your birth chart, there was the moon and the sun was together. Then you should not give you that kind of an interpretation like, okay, the moon was in this place. Okay, the moon characteristics this one, this sunny characteristics this one. Okay, you can't easily interpret that way. Okay, which house it was in, and from the lagna, I mean, first house of you in your birth chart, what is the position? So you have to do all kind of the permutation combination. Then you have to interpret what will happen on that time. Okay, there is a wonderful calculation and analysis will be involved in it. You can result, and the interpretation was a really interesting part. You will understand many things when you are doing all kind of the combination in the chart, and you will exactly understand, oh, this is me. Sometimes what will happen, because some people may not be defined their character. But when the chart was telling, okay, this is your character, is that you? They may not, and they may not still realize that they are in that situation. For example, the one person can be very wonderful in an administration, and he was a very wonderful administrator. Okay, but he didn't know his power, like Hanuman. Hanuman didn't know his power, like the other person also didn't know his power. But when you are analyzing the chart, you can understand, oh, you will have wonderful administration quality. Are you like that? Then the person can tell you, he may not say yes or no. He will say, no, I do this kind of the work. I handling these people. I have to handling that stuff, this stuff. I manage this one, that one. Then when you drill down his question and answer, then finally he will say, yeah, I am wonderful in administration. That's use an answer. Okay, that kind of interpretation will also be a astrology. Okay, everyone can take it as a different form. Some people may feel it was a total science. Some people will feel like it's a mathematics, like me. Okay, you can take it as whichever way which is resonating with you. Okay. Okay, there was one more thing. Are you feel astrology as the mathematics for all the time in your life? No, it will change time to time. Based on my knowledge was progressing, based on my understanding about astrology, my understanding about astrology may also differ time to time. Okay, mainly in Shiva, there was the three things. The application of the astrology in different areas. Okay, but in the Shiva, we mainly concentrate on the three areas. One is your medical astrology. Another thing is your personality development. That is nothing but your birth chart analysis and the resource management, this human resource development. Okay, these are the three areas. So how we can define about the medical astrology, right? We'll understand in the next session. Before that, we'll see about the personality. Okay, let's see how the personality can be defined. I really want to make it this one as very much interactive, but I couldn't do that. I quickly finish this one. Okay, anyone's personality can be defined by their characters, by the trait, what are the attributes they are following, and the skills and the talents, the strength and the fitness. Everything grouped together makes one personality, right? Yes or no? I take it as a yes. Okay. So that group together to form the one personality. Is that can be read from analysis from the astrology? Yes, you can. You can understand your character mapping. What are the traits and attributes? What are the key skills you have as a person, as you are a person born on this time in this planet? What are the skills and attributes naturally you have? Or if you are pursue this one, what are the skills you will get developed and what is your strength and weakness? You can easily understand or interpret from the astrology. That is from your birth chart. When you analyze that one, you will get understanding of the previous personality. Now comes into the interesting part of the medical astrology. This one was very much interesting. Why? You will understand in the next slide itself. Okay, you will understand what are the risk factors when it comes to if you may have the cardiovascular disorder or any kind of the trauma disorders, any kind of the fertility issues. Many things you can understand from the medical astrology, but the question will come. Okay, how the medicine, how the astrology comes into play. Okay, let's see that. As I said earlier, you consider instead of the earth, imagine you are in the center. Okay, then all around you is divided into 12 parts. Okay, the first 30 degree belongs to the head. There was every 30 degrees the body parts was matched, but how we can easily remember this one, right? Go from top to bottom. Go from top to bottom. Go from like this way: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Go from like this, top to bottom. All the body parts will be arranged accordingly. It starts with the head, neck and throat. The second, Gemini, lungs, arms and full arms and the shoulders. Cancer, chest, breast or the stomach. The stomach means it's your abdomen area. Stomach, yeah, no, it's an internal organ. Then the Simha, Leo, your heart and the upper back. Virgo, abdomen and digestive system. Like that, all the 12 houses have so every body parts of the human. Now, none of the organs will be missed. Everything will be in the 12 section. Okay, so how you can study this medical astrology? You will learn in every upcoming classes. You will understand about it. What consider this is your birth chart. Okay. One point, the one planet will be set here, sun or the okay, any planet can be set here. How it is going to affect you? If it was exalted means it was in a good state, or it was not in the exalted state. What will happen to you? What will happen to the body part? That will understand analysis in your birth charts when we are seeing the coming classes. Okay, before that, this is about the human resource management, how the human can nurture towards the work, how the productivity will be increased. Mainly, you can able to understand what is the strength in this specific field. Most of the people which I know, they before the students were studying into any kind of the higher studies, they will go into the astrology and they find out if this is my boy or girl interested into going to study this, is that possible to study or not? You can also find that based on the astrology, you can also easily find out what are the natural skills they have. If they're going to pursue the career, how the skills will be developed in the upcoming years. What are the suitable occupations for them? This is also you can find in the astrology. But remember, nothing was written on the stones. Your determined will can change anything in your entire lifetime. Okay, it's all about the assessment. Why are you the you? And what the characters, traits and attributes, what the skills and the talents, what's your strength and weakness. Okay, then the mainly question will come. Why I need to understand all these things? I know about myself very clearly. Did I need that? If you understand about you very clearly, there was no need. If there was a person who wants to introspect himself or herself, and if he wants to understand his weakness, understand, some people may not know about their weakness, understand. They want to understand what is my weakness, understand. What is my natural skills and the talents. So they can interrupt the astrology. And for fun also, you can come and interrupt the astrology. You can understand, okay, this is a skill or talent you have or not. Your current affairs can easily be understood. Okay, then the recommendation will tell them the do's and the don'ts. They will say, okay, on this point in time, don't do the any kind of the auspicious thing, like don't do the marriage at this time, don't enter into the new home this time, don't do any kind of the business on this particular area, it may affect you. So this kind of the do's and don'ts, they will recommend. Remember, it's all only the recommendation. If you have a determined will, and if you have the whole willpower and you want to achieve something in your life, you can do that. Okay. Okay, before that, I want to tell you this one on the solar system. I forgot to tell you. I don't know why I missed it. Okay, the solar system, we have this kind of the system, the sun, are all the planets revolving around the sun, right? When it is comes to astrology, zodiac belt, we make it as a year. The year, all other things was revolving around it. We make it as the year as the center point. Okay. Then we will have the question about what are the planets will have influence, mainly influence on the year. There are the Navagrahams. Okay. If you're going into any kind of the Hindu temples, you will see the Navagraha was on the side. Maybe it was on the right side, I guess. Okay, how you can remember the Navagraha? Very easy. Start with the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Rahu Ketu. How is that? We'll see. Surya, Chandra, Sevai, Buddhan, Angagraha, we also call this Angagraha. Make it as the Sevai, Buddhan, Guru, and the Chukran, Sani. Did I miss it? Okay, Rahu Ketu. Okay, Navagrahas. Anyway, we'll learn all these things very deeply in every upcoming sessions. I don't want to overwhelm in all together in this one session itself. We will learn everything. Okay. Till here, you have any doubt? Okay, if you don't have any doubt, I will quickly make it as the revision of all the things which I said in the session. Mainly,
Excuse me, Vanita, we are already 10 minutes past
Yeah.
our schedule.
Yeah, I'm ending the session. Yes, okay.
Oh.
Okay, if you don't have any questions, I will end this session here itself. Okay. Anybody have a question? Okay, I guess no one had it. We'll stop the session here itself. We'll see you next week then. Is that okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vinita.
Thank you, madam.
And the
Thank
session.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.